Guys, we got to talk about Adam 22. Now, for those who don't know, Adam 22 is the owner of the No Jumper podcast here on YouTube. It's a major platform. They got millions of subscribers. They interview rappers, OnlyFans girls, gang bangers, gang members, ex-pimps, pretty much anybody they think is going to be an interesting story. Usually the people they have on the podcast, it either has to do with some type of criminal activity or some level of morality that most people aren't willing to stoop to. So that's most of the people that they cover on the podcast. But Adam 22 last year went on a historic run of pretty much pimping out his wife and selling her to the highest bidder. His wife is an adult film actress, and one of her wishes was to do a boy-girl scene without her husband. So pretty much, husband, you go sit in the corner, and I want your approval to sleep with another guy. Now, Adam bragging about the money and only seeing the dollars, he was like, yeah, go ahead and do it. She did it. He slapped it behind a paywall. He put it behind a paywall and charged money for it, and then started bragging about how much money he made off of it. Lo and behold, to him, nobody cares about the money because now you're a cuck. You just let your wife, you pimped out your wife. And so other men and women aren't going to respect that. But apparently Adam 22 and his wife are going through a divorce. And I mean, you didn't need a crystal ball to see that coming. But let's go ahead and get into the video.
For this video, I want to talk about the 16 of Nashua's upcoming divorce from his gross wife, Lena the Plug. So I want to explain. So the 16 of Nashua and Whack 3 Fingers 100 brought their wives onto a podcast to talk about relationship stuff. And so it's like this like cringy couples podcast. So during this podcast, the 16 comes out and says him and Lena are getting a divorce. And he starts complaining about how his life's going to be difficult when she leaves him and how he's pathetic. And what I'm getting ready to show you is the 16 sort of passively, aggressively slips the word divorce into the conversation in a very, I would say, cuck-worthy fashion.
Oh, no.
And so I'll show you what I mean, too. And it's important to note here that he is the one who constantly brings up divorce, not her. He does. So this tells me that she's perfectly fine with the idea of divorce and life without him, while he, on the other hand, is crippled with insecurity and worry about it. And it's because of this insecurity that the 16 can't help himself. He has to keep bringing up divorce and sort of bringing it up and throwing it in there in a joking way, even though he's 100% serious about it. This is a common thing that insecure people do. They'll just like, it's called throwing it in their face, right? And so that's exactly what we're going to see in these upcoming clips. So allow me to present the first clip. This is the 16 of Nashua bringing up divorce for the first time. Roll the clip.
But in the porn world, as a man, you do realize that you are judged for your choices as well. A lot of these porn guys have a lot going for them. They got some money, they look good, they dress cool, they got nice bodies, they work out, and still women outside the industry look at that, and even women inside the industry kind of look at them as like lower class because of the fact that they go on camera.
What kind of self-respecting woman is going to bring a man to her to meet her father, and when asked what does he do for a living, what are you going to say? Because that question's coming. When a woman dates a man, it might not be the first question, but it's definitely top 5. Who is he? Where is he from? What does he do? That's going to be top 3 questions. And what are you going to say at that point? Yeah, no self-respecting woman is going to want to date a man that did porn for a living. And to be honest, if you look at Adam 22, it wouldn't be a surprise. Like, if I had to guess, I would say either ex-convict that's trying to get his life together again, owns a tattoo parlor, works at a vape shop, or does porn. Or a rapper, maybe. If I looked at him, that's what I would already assume. So, yeah, most self-respecting women, moral women, are not going to be willing to date a porn star.
Probably a whole world of women who will never want to date me once we divorce because of my choices.
All right, so there you have it. He says once we get a divorce. What? He doesn't say if we get a divorce or maybe if we were to get a divorce hypothetically. He says once we get a divorce, meaning he's expecting it. And she isn't even phased at all. This didn't startle her. She didn't object to this at all. This has been in their conversation behind the scenes. They're planning this divorce, and it's not because the 16 wants it. It's because she is demanding it, I think. So let's play this next clip.
And then he slides in, I think, at the end. Whoever the narrator is, it's just kind of going off of what he's assuming based on these small podcast clips. And he says all that stuff, and then he says, I think, at the end.
He says that they're getting a divorce again. Let's take a look.
In mind, I had to make the decision. Do I want to shoot for this new Latina pussy, or do I want to get married and spend 8 or 9 years with this Armenian
8 or 9
delicacy?
Years. Gee whiz.
I made my choice, and I think it was probably a good one.
You got a 9-year thing? That's it?
We've been together for...
It'll be 9 years at the end of this year, but yes.
Yep.
Okay.
I told her...
Okay, so again, he hints at a divorce, so this guy can't help himself. He can't help himself but throw this in his wife's face, the fact that their marriage is coming to an end. This is what insecure guys do. They'll bring something up that's really bothering them, and they'll bring it up as a joke in a conversation, but it's not a joke. It's serious, but it's disguised as a joke. And the wife or the girlfriend usually knows that it's not a joke. And so they usually get mad, but Lena's not getting mad because she doesn't give a fuck. What? Doesn't give a fuck about this cuck. Okay, she's done. But he's not giving up that easy. He says he wants to learn how to play guitar so he can serenade her and shit like that.
Oh,
Recently, I
no.
mentioned that I would kind of like to play guitar. I would like to learn to play guitar just because it's so outside of anything I've ever done that I feel like it would be an interesting challenge.
So the cuck wants to learn how to play guitar so he can become attractive. That's fucking really pathetic. And it goes on. Listen to this.
Doing something with my hands, getting dirty, hanging out with the boys, etc. And she loves that. She hates me sitting on the computer by myself watching podcasts, playing poker. That to her is very like, ew.
I want you to like get into carpenter work and like help.
Damn, bro, can't have hobbies? I mean, he built a multi-million-dollar business. The brother can't have hobbies outside of his multi-million-dollar business. He got to learn how to do woodwork.
We built a cabinet.
So she wants you to do manly things.
Why is the cuck so desperately in love with this hideous fucking vile woman? She looks so disgusting. Sure. What is this look? What is she... What millionaire dresses like this? She looks
he
like
roasted
a
her.
fucking Charlie's Angel, but it's like Seinfeld.
okay.
She's got an Elaine thing going on, and she's just not pulling it off. She looks ridiculous, and she's, of course, been warped by plastic surgery and procedures. She looks unrecognizable. The snarl of her face. If I was the 16, I could find something better than this, you know. And she's so fucking stupid, too. I want to play you a clip, actually. This really bothered me. I had a huge issue with this. I hate it when a new mom with her first child starts lecturing other people about how to raise kids. This is a violation. I've got a major issue with this. So
Yeah, especially if the new mom does, like, she's an adult film actress, for the lack of better word. She's an adult film actress. Yeah, there's not very much you can teach me about parenting if you're literally pimping out your wife and your wife is trying to give us lessons on how to be a good mom, but she's like sleeping with random dudes off the street.
Do a clip. Watch this.
Because I was
Having a kid.
very catering to him because he was my kid. And then I had a kid. And then I was like, oh, you have all of these needs that I feel like you can meet for yourself. I'm going to take care of this kid.
For sure.
And you better take care of yourself.
That was your first child.
Right.
You got to remember, it's 5 children between the two of us.
Yeah, but your kids are not little anymore.
No, they're not.
And
But
when they're little, they need
the
all
problem
your
is,
attention.
we know.
Oh my God. So this fucking idiot with her first child, 4 years old, she's an expert mother. She's lecturing these other people on how to... This is insane. No one wants your advice, Lena. Do you understand? You are disgusting, and everyone pretty much agrees that you're a terrible mother. What?
Oh,
You understand? In fact, she's so disgusting that I believe she's looking into getting a possible surrogate mother to carry her next child because she wants to continue doing porn. She doesn't want to ruin her body. And
That's
it's like,
insane.
newsflash, it's already ruined.
Yeah, right. In California for a surrogate?
What is it, 75?
No, but
They-
you pay like 80 or 90 or something, right? And then, but they might get 50. I don't know, maybe the fertilization joint.
okay,
For
yes.
sure, you have a very, very solid rationale for having a surrogate, whereas for us, the reasoning would basically
And
be
then
to
I'm
be
gonna
able
tell
to
you-
keep doing porn.
And then I'm going to tell you another reason, too.
So the 16 and Lena are looking into a surrogate mother to house the fetus of their daughter's sibling. I mean, this is just really sick.
Yeah, this is sick. They need to be arrested. And the craziest part is there aren't any legal ramifications for this, but sometimes the consequences don't come by legal means. Sometimes the consequence is having to look at yourself in the mirror and realize you did what you did. And I'm telling you, once you a man and you reach cuck status, there's no escaping that. And not only is he a porn star and a cuck, but he's also a public figure online. And that's tough. And I'm not saying like that as an insult. I'm saying it as a fact. And I think it hurts worse when it's an actual fact. And the internet ain't going to let that go. Sneeko has these allegations. He has the cuck allegations. And, I mean, he's risen to higher levels than ever before. The dude's hanging out with Kanye West now. And it just doesn't matter, though, because he's just going to get called the cuck no matter how good, well he does in life, because there's just going to be a small demographic of people who hate him. And I know it bothers him. It has to bother him. No matter where he goes in life or how far he climbs up, he's always going to be disrespected to some degree because people are going to call him a cuck. And it's not even an insult. It's literally just a fact.
At this point, I mean, they're more dedicated to their porn than they are to their own kids. She can get pregnant easily. She just doesn't want to because she thinks she looks good, which she doesn't. And she also, and another thing, she wants to do gangbang porns. What? She wants to get a bunch of guys lined up and get
That's
their pants
disgusting.
down and just let them go to town. That is, and she's got a 4-year-old daughter. Okay,
That's
this is the
crazy.
worst mother that could possibly ever have happened.
Specific
But
definition.
you know, he likes the gangbang.
He likes watching them. He doesn't want to see me in
Yeah,
one.
Wait, hold on. You like watching them? So you would never allow her to be in a gangbang?
It's so difficult to even find one guy that I consider worthy of putting his dick inside of my wife that the idea of finding, 5, it's a little ambitious.
So you can tell she's
Oh
really
my God.
pressing this. Like, this is the next thing that she wants. Remember, the 16 didn't want to give her away to anyone. Now he's giving her away to, all these guys. Now she wants to do multiple guys. What's where does this end?
Yeah, it's never going to be enough. And that's also one of the reasons why it's going to be hard to be in a relationship after this. Who's going to be able to do the freaky stuff you going to want them to do other than a person that's exactly like her? And that's why I'm not going to feel bad for him. You decided to marry a woman who does porn, and you do porn yourself, and you pimped out your wife. So whatever comes from that is just going to be the fruits of what you worked for. You worked hard to be in this position. Adam 22 worked hard to be in this position right now, to be looked at this way by the world. He worked hard for that. And he pimped out his wife to be in this position. So it's real hard to feel bad for somebody who chose. This is the consequence of your decisions.
Casting / gangbanging.
Can you stop with the gangbanging?
I was just kidding, but
Who's gangbanging?
I don't know. He clearly wants to be.
Maybe he's
Well, I
talking
mean, you
about
guys do gangbang.
All right, so
This
Lena
is crazy.
is very disgusting and she looks horrible. Okay, so let's go to this next clip. This is going to be pretty much, so this is going to be Lena just shitting on the 16 and telling everyone how he's not a man.
Why does he keep calling him the 16? Why does he keep calling him the 16? I don't get that.
It's just like when the electrician guy comes and knocks on the door, he's like, hold on, let me get my wife. Whereas more people come and say,
That's
let me
some
get my
BS.
husband.
But I've never had to
That's
call
some
an
BS.
electrician in my whole life. I don't even know, I
You
would
don't know
like...
what the light switch is. I know.
I would love for you sometime to just tell me, like, hey, there's this problem in the house. Can you take care of it?
No.
Although, to be
Because
honest,
what's going to happen if you're going to be like, the guy told me stuff, I don't fucking remember what it was.
and
You
I'm
should
going to be
call
like,
it.
yo, Josh.
I do the man stuff and the woman stuff.
I like to outsource
Wait, what
everything.
do you mean you do the man? So what did I just hear right now?
I do the man stuff and the woman stuff. I am in charge of the entire household.
Clip it.
Okay. This is the thing. She is so neurotic and on top of everything and needs to know how every single thing works.
In my own house that I pay a
you a
mortgage on,
daddy's
yes.
girl?
She won't really let me have any responsibilities because she doesn't trust
Because
me
you're so
enough to handle
incapable.
them.
Well, you're a
And
daddy's
I'm
girl.
incapable.
You're
Wow,
incapable
so
is crazy.
she's really just belittling him and saying my house and my mortgage and you're not a man and you're not even capable.
Bro, after she slept with the other guy, they all did a podcast together where Adam 22 had the guy on who just had sex with his wife, and they discussed it. Not only are you letting your wife sleep with other dudes outside of your marriage while y'all both have a daughter, but then you're letting her bring the guy on who she just slept with to humiliate you on your own platform. I mean, that's insane. This is crazy to me.
She's really just shitting on him, okay? And I think that they fight a lot about these very issues they're talking about on camera right here. They're just playing it off right now, but they've actually had full-blown arguments about this stuff.
You're so helpless. So I'm not going to have you help me with something where I feel like it's going to take me
So
double.
he's like a
You are
big
helpless.
I have very limited
I told
life
him the other day,
skills.
he's like, it's like dating a 13-year-old boy because he's like, can I stay home and play video games? I don't want to come. And then if he does come, he's on his phone in the corner the whole time. And I'm like, put your phone away, Adam. Talk to people.
Okay, so at this point, I'm not ready to say that they've decided to get a divorce. I just think that the cuck is very insecure about his marriage, and so he continues to throw it in her face like, oh yeah, we're gonna get divorced, because he's it's a cope, right?
Oh,
and I think
no.
that she is just completely emotionally separated and checked out from him, and she doesn't respect or love him in any way. She loves Jason Love, I think. And it's been made quite obvious who wears the pants in the relationship. She doesn't need to leave the 16. She can go sleep with whoever she wants anyways. She has her own money anyway. Their lives are separate. She doesn't really need, there's no pressure for her to leave the 16. She does what she wants to do anyways, and he has no say. He's a cuck. So that's
Why
pretty much
do you
where
say
I'm at
that?
with this. But I thought that was so interesting that they're just openly talking about their divorce. We've seen the 16 mention him getting a divorce potentially in the future, but we've never seen him say it so many times and in front of her. She's sitting right next to him. So I think that this is a step in the right direction, which is the end of their marriage, which is an unholy, vile, filthy marriage. And it's looking like that is exactly what's going to happen. This marriage is over with. And I just hope that their
That's not
daughter
surprising.
gets emancipated very soon and moves away from them, far away, so that she can live a normal life. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so
Yeah,
much.
Adam 22 out here making Sodom and Gomorrah look like Weenie Hut Jr. What's next? Till next time.